Have you ever wondered how people lived thousands of years ago? No Google, no smartphones, no online courses, and yet, they figured things out. Big things, healing, architecture, mental peace. Today, we're diving deep into 10 ancient secrets that not only withstood the test of time, but are still being used and validated by science, health experts, and even spiritual seekers around the world. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and join me on a journey across time, cultures, and human wisdom. Ayurveda, which translates to the science of life, is more than herbal remedies. It's a full system of health that dates back over 5,000 years in India. The core idea is balance between the mind, body, spirit, and environment. It's built on the belief that health depends on maintaining equilibrium between three fundamental energies or doshas: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Each person has a unique dosha makeup, which influences their digestion, personality, and even how they respond to stress. Treatments aren't one-size-fits-all. They're tailored: food plans, sleep rhythms, herbal formulas, even breathing exercises. Modern science is catching up. Studies now validate the gut-brain connection, the role of circadian rhythms in health, and the anti-inflammatory properties of Ayurvedic herbs like ashwagandha and turmeric. So when you see someone sipping turmeric lattes or using neem toothpaste, it's not just a trend, it's a 5,000-year-old system thriving in the modern world. Meditation appears in almost every ancient tradition: Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, early Christianity, and indigenous cultures around the globe. But it was more than relaxation, it was a tool to explore consciousness. Techniques like breath control, mantra repetition, and mindfulness were developed to calm the monkey mind, our constant inner chatter, and open the path to clarity and self-realization. Fast forward to today, neuroscientists have hooked up long-term meditators to fMRI machines and discovered profound brain changes. The amygdala, linked to fear and stress, shrinks. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, becomes more active. Gray matter density increases in areas tied to learning and memory. And the benefits? Reduced anxiety, lower blood pressure, better sleep, even enhanced emotional intelligence. Ancient monks knew something we're still rediscovering: that peace isn't out there, it's within. We just need to sit with ourselves long enough to find it. Socrates didn't claim to have answers. He claimed to know nothing. But he had questions, lots of them. The Socratic method, born in Athens over 2,400 years ago, is a technique of disciplined questioning. It helps reveal contradictions in thinking and encourages people to refine their beliefs through reasoned dialogue. Instead of, "What's the right answer?" the method asks, "Why do you believe that? What assumptions are you making?" Today, this approach is foundational in law schools, therapy sessions, and leadership coaching. It fosters critical thinking, something increasingly vital in a world flooded with misinformation. Socrates believed that through dialogue we inch closer to truth, not through certainty but through curiosity. And in 2025, when AI, media, and social pressure shape what we think, asking better questions might be the most ancient and necessary skill of all. Before pharmacies, people turned to forests, fields, and gardens. Ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians and Sumerians to the Chinese, Greeks, and indigenous peoples of the Americas, used plants not just as food, but as medicine. They didn't always know the chemistry, but they knew what worked. Willow bark soothed pain. It contained salicin, a precursor to aspirin. Garlic acted as an antimicrobial. Licorice root eased digestion and sore throats. Fast forward, about 25% of modern medicines are derived from plant sources. Quinine, morphine, even chemotherapy drugs have botanical roots. But herbalism was more than just prescriptions, it was preventative. Herbs were used to keep the body in balance, not just to fix it when it broke. As we face modern issues like antibiotic resistance and chronic inflammation, researchers are turning back to what our ancestors already knew. The earth holds answers, if we're willing to listen. Take a look at the Roman Colosseum, the Pantheon, or seaside piers built by the Romans. They've stood for thousands of years. Now compare that to a modern concrete bridge, often crumbling after 50. The difference? Roman concrete. Their mix included volcanic ash, lime, and seawater, materials that created a chemical reaction which allowed the concrete to strengthen over time, not weaken. Today's Portland cement is fast and cheap, but it degrades. Scientists recently discovered that Roman concrete can self-heal cracks when exposed to water. That's right, 2,000-year-old self-repairing building material. Now researchers at MIT and other institutions are racing to reverse engineer this ancient formula. It's not just about preserving ruins, it's about solving modern infrastructure problems sustainably. The Romans knew that good design doesn't just last a lifetime, it can last centuries. For millennia, fasting has been used not just for religious devotion but for mental clarity, spiritual connection, and physical health. The ancient Egyptians fasted for purification. Hindus, Buddhists, and Muslims used fasting as a sacred reset. Greek philosophers like Plato and Hippocrates prescribed fasting for health. Today, we're rediscovering why. Intermittent fasting, restricting eating to specific hours, has exploded in popularity. But this isn't a trend, it's backed by science. Fasting boosts autophagy, a natural process that cleans out damaged cells. It improves insulin sensitivity and reduces inflammation. Some research links it to improved brain function and even increased lifespan. But beyond biology, fasting teaches discipline. It breaks habits. It reminds us we are not slaves to hunger or routine. The ancients fasted to remember what truly nourishes them. Maybe it's time we remember too. In 1901, sponge divers off the Greek island of Antikythera made a strange discovery, a lump of corroded bronze. What they found wasn't just treasure, it was technology. This device, now known as the Antikythera mechanism, dates back over 2,000 years. It contained over 30 intricate bronze gears, handcrafted to calculate the positions of the sun, moon, and even eclipses. In short, it was a computer, a mechanical brain before electricity existed. For decades, no one understood how it worked, but thanks to CT scans and advanced modeling, scientists today have decoded much of its function. What's amazing isn't just that the Greeks could build such a device, it's that this level of complexity vanished for over 1,000 years. It's a reminder that history isn't a straight line. Sometimes, knowledge is gained, then lost, waiting to be rediscovered. High in the Andes Mountains, the Inca built roads and suspension bridges using grass. Yes, grass. These rope bridges, called Queswachaca, spanned deep gorges and were strong enough to carry entire armies. No nails, no steel, just woven plant fibers and centuries of engineering knowledge passed down through generations. But it wasn't just about engineering, it was about community. Each year, dozens of families gathered to rebuild the bridge in a 3-day ritual of weaving, singing, and celebration. Today, these bridges are not only functional, they're living testaments to indigenous innovation, ecological design, and cooperative knowledge. In a world obsessed with new tech, the Inca remind us that sometimes resilience comes from simplicity and working together. In the heart of Delhi stands a pillar of iron that has baffled scientists for centuries. Erected over 1,600 years ago, the Iron Pillar of Delhi shows no signs of rust, despite being exposed to sun, wind, and monsoon rains. How? Ancient Indian metallurgists used a combination of pure iron and phosphorus-rich slag to create a thin, protective film that prevents corrosion. In modern metallurgy, preventing rust is an ongoing challenge with coatings, paints, and alloys. But the ancients, they achieved it naturally, without machines, without electricity. This isn't just a quirky historical artifact. It's a case study in sustainable materials, and a reminder that craftsmanship, observation, and patience once rivaled even the best of today's innovations. Some messages don't need translation. From the sweeping Nazca lines of Peru to Egyptian hieroglyphs to the yin-yang and Chinese Taoism, symbols have shaped how we understand the world. Symbols weren't just art, they were meaning. They told stories, warned of danger, invoked gods, or marked the stars. Today, we live in a world of logos, emojis, hashtags, and visual metaphors. What does mean to you? Or, the ancients knew something we often forget. Not everything that matters can be explained in words. Sometimes the deepest truths are drawn, carved, or simply felt. The past isn't behind us. It's within us, in our breath, our language, our healing, our technology. We think of progress as forward motion, but sometimes, to move forward, we have to look back. These 10 secrets remind us that knowledge isn't always new. Sometimes, the deepest truths have already been known, for thousands of years. If you enjoyed this journey through ancient wisdom, hit the like button. Subscribe for more thoughtful explorations into history, culture, and the human mind. And comment below, what's one ancient practice you think we should bring back? No more, be more.